back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are now being joined by Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. You know him as the leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party. Good morning and welcome to you. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning to your viewers and listeners. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. Thanks a lot for having me.
All right. So, we just had the conclusion of the local government elections. And I just want to get from you, what's your view on your party's performance at that election? And, what are your views just going forward?
We set out to use the local government election to further build out. Unlike the THA election, which is basically one corporation or two as opposed to what we had to fight. We are a younger party and it takes a while to build out. Again, I want to use the PDP example of being able to build out quickly in Tobago, but they had a disastrous showing in Trinidad. It takes a while to build out and become a fully national party. And we used the local government election to further build out the party, get many more people to know the party, to establish ourselves in every nook and cranny that we could. And we did that. We came away with a surge of support and hope. It wasn't the results that we wanted, but the entire election results was terrible and disappointing as Trinidadians seem to be slowly but surely losing faith in the electoral process as party after party fails them. But we are doing our endeavor best to hold to our mission of informing, educating, and empowering the people of Trinidad and Tobago and giving them a proper option. So we plan to use the experience, we plan to use the opportunity to catapult forward. We're not stopping, we're pivoting to finish launch all of our 39 shadow MPs who will be on the ground and fully 141 councillors, shadow councillors, to work within the communities. Even though we're not elected, we want to be serving and giving people a better alternative to the PNM and the UNC that they've had.
All right. And then, looking forward now, are you guys still going to go strong into the general elections, even though you didn't get the support you anticipated? Are you going to continue building the party
That's the
and
purpose of the
continue
39.
advocating for that change?
Well, I guess you missed what I just said. We are launching 39 shadow MPs to work on the ground, to build relationships, to establish the party as one that delivers. We're also going to be launching 141 shadow councillors. That requires massive machinery. We'll be operating as a shadow government. So, yes, all of that is to establish us as a real and credible alternative for 2025. Not one of those parties that just show up at election. The Phillip will fix it campaign was massively successful. It took us to the level that we got to June 6th, and by August 14th, we were a national party. Yes, we have every intention to fight all of the seats in Trinidad, and we will know what is going on in Tobago. We're having discussions with certain people, but we understand that to be truly represented in Tobago, you have to be working with Tobagonian nationals to build the party there. If we're not working with established political parties in Tobago already, we will be building a truly Tobago arm of the Progressive Empowerment Party.
Now, what do you think resulted in just that low voter turnout that we saw? Because we just had about 30% voter turnout in the local government elections, and none of the political parties were able to, you know, to instigate the public enough to come out and just cast a vote. How are we going to go? How are you going to go about, changing that going forward?
What caused it is that the political parties keep letting the people down. And all of the coalitions have failed to live up to their promises. The experience with Watson Duke and Farley and the PDP, people put so much hope in that. And then that just blew up. and melted away. So much bacchanal, so much sex
Mm,
talk. People got disgusted by it and lost hope in the process. It damaged all new parties because all new parties that saying we will be different, they're saying, yeah, and Farley and Watson said that too. So that is the cause of it. How do we fix that? We fix that by staying the course, doing the work. We have to take the licks from that experience, from the people's partnership that let the people down. We have to take all of that licks, the experience people had with Tobago organization and the people. So I'm putting this in context for you to understand the Tobago part of it, why Trinidadians and Tobagonians are so fed up with politicians. I am a voter, I am a citizen, and I am only in politics because I am fed up with politicians. I understand exactly how people feel.
mm. So, but I mean, this is something you've also been speaking about for quite a few years about how people have become disenfranchised with politicians. But it's just no matter how much we speak about that, and even no matter how much we hear from yourself and from others within the space, just the differences that can be made towards governance, how governance should be, it just doesn't seem to be enough to change the way how people feel. And they go back and they seem to be either not voting or voting for the two major political parties.
I want to tell you, Trinidad and Tobago is a massively corrupt country. The average person knows that they should be wealthier. The average person knows that they should have more. The average person could point out the rogues in Tobago who, together with politicians, stole their money. They could point out in Trinidad, they could name the rogues in Trinidad who, together with politicians and businessmen and lawyers and accountants, what I call the contract mafia, that have stolen their money and ruined their country, destroyed it. The quality of life in Trinidad is terrible for a country that had $3 trillion in 62 years.
Mm.
You contrast and compare that with Norway, that created a heritage fund that affects every stock and share traded on the planet. Norway's heritage fund is built up of the same funds we had. Norway's heritage fund sets aside 250,000 US dollars for every citizen upon retirement. In our people on retirement, they get a $3,000 that they have to beg and fight for. And all of that has people upset, has people fed up of politicians because no matter who they put in office, and I want to use the example of Farley again. I had the greatest of hope in Farley because I know the criminally corrupt in Tobago, and I know Farley have to know them too. And before the election, I fully endorsed the PDP, and I said I hope that you're hitting the ground, giving us a proper forensic accounting, get back our money, jail the corrupt members of the Tobago House of Assembly, jail the corrupt businessmen, go after the man that have the 62 sports cars driving around Tobago like a fool, go after the people who built Milsherv, go after those. Let's show the people that politicians are not all just there to feather their own nest and take them for granted. That's what I plan to be, and I hope that the new version of what came out of the PDP could hit the ground running and do that. Because if it doesn't, it looks to everybody like more of the same old dog and pony show we had before.
And now, just as we're getting ready to wrap the show because you're unfortunately out of time, but I just want to give you just a couple of minutes to just address the people of Trinidad and Tobago, as even I mean we're still dealing with the last bit of putting together the local government and so on, and just moving ahead.
Everything that we've ever experienced, we failed before we succeeded. Even when we were learning to walk as people, the biggest faith a human being will ever have is learning to walk, because the mechanics of walking is throwing yourself off balance and trusting yourself to catch yourself to do it again. Trinidadians are human beings. They deserve better. I want them to know that regardless of our past experiences, there is a better day coming. We must not lose hope. We must continue to look for change. We must continue to jettison the old and the failed and look for better. We could have a better day and a better life, all of us, if we keep focused. Sometimes you have to lower your head, bite your lip, take what is going on now. They have a saying, until better can be done, let the worst continue. But don't stop looking for that time when you could have a better day and a better life. And yes, right now in this world, the best way to do that still is by voting democratically. The Progressive Empowerment Party is going to fight very strong. I am going to be in touch with Farley, and I'm going to get a commitment from Farley that he is going to do the job that he said that he would do, where the audits and the recovery of the money is concerned, and I will further my endorsement or I will withdraw it. I want Tobagonians to know, because we have a large following in Tobago, that the Progressive Empowerment Party has not abandoned you. We will be there on the ground, either with Tobago parties or working with you directly.
All right, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Phillip Edward Alexander. We're certainly looking forward to speaking with you more as the political landscape develops here, both in Trinidad and Tobago.
It's always enjoyable speaking with you. Thank you for accommodating me. Thank you for accommodating the mishap with us missing the timelines this morning. Thanks very much to your viewers.
That's fine.
Have a great day.
You too, Mr. Alexander. All right, viewers. Well, that's how we're going to have to wrap the show this morning. Thank you so much for being on with us. And yeah, have a safe and wonderful day. And don't forget, we have our news at 6:30, as well as full disclosure tonight at 8 o'clock. So you're going to want to look on for those.
Wake up with Kandace and Denise. Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.